Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about Nintendo's 85th annual shareholders meeting, which actually just took place. Now, there's actually a lot of news to be gleaned from this, a lot of actually really positive news and really surprising news in many ways as well. So, @nstyles on Twitter actually compiled a really helpful series of tweets here that we can kind of follow. Again, I'm just going to go through the main points that I want to make, because there's a few interesting things to be said here. Again, there's a tweet here that mentions someone asking about like future movies or other kind of media that Nintendo can branch into. And of course, Nintendo talks about Mario movie 2, and they talk about the future Zelda movie and all of that. So some very general basic stuff. But the part that I really want to talk about is actually question 3 here. Someone asks about the Switch 2. So here's what that person asked. It was released this month. Of course, they're referring to the Switch 2, and I understand that it has not been able to meet domestic demand. Is the reason for this a shortage of production units or a failure to predict demand? Are there any improvements to be made when launching new products in the future? And so Furukawa responds, currently in many countries, the demand for Switch 2 exceeds the supply and we are unable to meet it. We understand that some shareholders have also been unable to obtain it. We started accepting lottery sales at my Nintendo store in April. The response far exceeded our expectations, and I announced in my name on X that there were 2.2 million applicants, along with an apology. Since then, we have conducted 4 lottery sales, but some people were not selected. We have announced that the 5th lottery will take place starting in July. Many general retailers have also conducted lottery sales. The number of stores offering in-store sales is gradually increasing. As a company, we are working to improve our production system to deliver as many units as possible. We apologize for the inconvenience caused by this initial demand, which greatly exceeded our expectations. And there you have it. The Switch 2 has far exceeded expectations, despite the fact that Nintendo has been reportedly stocking up and piling up Switch 2s before release. So Nintendo is basically as prepared as they could have been stock-wise to make sure that they met demand during the launch of the system. And yet, despite all of that, they still fell short, which is just crazy. That's just a crazy thought to me. Even Nintendo Life reiterated all of this, so now I'm on the Nintendo Life site. Nintendo's president apologizes for not being able to meet Switch 2 demand. So, and of course, the tweet that we were talking about earlier is linked here as well. Now, this is all just crazy to me. Because again, Nintendo, you would think, especially given all of the reports, Nintendo was by all accounts very, very prepared for this scenario. And that's in stark contrast to how Nintendo has approached previous console launches, right? I mean, again, the Wii U itself launched to some shortages, and the Switch is notorious for having launched very, very few units at launch, and Nintendo notoriously underestimating the sales of that console during its launch period. I mean, I remember even my local Walmart at launch only had like 32 units. I was among the first wave of people that were able to secure one, but they only had like 32 Switches, and so there were over 40 people in line, and not everyone was able to walk away with one, which was pretty crazy. But now we're seeing that everyone who wanted a Switch 2, at least here in North America, everyone who wanted a Switch 2 actually basically got one. Again, there's a number of people that still didn't. It's not always going to be perfect, but the majority of people that I've seen, at least on the internet, people that I know in person, have been able to secure one pretty easily, at least in comparison to the original Switch. There were even images floating around where people mentioning that there were Switch 2s available at their local store, whether it was Target or Walmart or any other store basically, that actually still had Switch units inside the glass kiosk or whatever it's called. It's funny because like some people were already saying, oh, just because there are Switch 2 units still available and they weren't selling out, I guess it means it was doom and gloom, right, for the Switch. It's like, oh, the Switch 2 is not selling out in some stores. Oh, it means that it's another Wii U situation. Well, even if this news that I was mentioning just now didn't come out, I still would not be inclined to believe that. But again, people are going to doom and gloom no matter what. It is what it is. But yeah, this is what I mean when I say this news is crazy. It's surprising and it's unsurprising at the same time. Again, This has happened in the past as well, but now Nintendo, being more prepared, still found themselves short of being able to meet demand, especially in their home country, which just shows the popularity of the Nintendo brand itself, the Switch brand itself. It's definitely gotten to a point where Nintendo knows how popular the brand is at this point. But of course, I do have to make the disclaimer that this is not 100% a telltale sign of success, right? At the end of the day, this is only gauging the first few weeks, really, of the console, the first month. What really matters at this point is the performance of the console throughout the next upcoming months up until December. Well, that's where we're really going to get a good idea of where we're at in terms of the longevity of this console in terms of sales. Is just kind of giving it these next few months and seeing where things go, what the trends are. Are we going to see an upward trend? Are we going to see a downward trend? Are we going to see kind of a middle ground, kind of like a middle ground trend? That's what is going to be the most telling in the coming months. So I think that's where we should place our focus, really. Is not necessarily just, of course, these are all good signs. These are all really good signs. It bodes well for the future of the console. Already selling 3.5 million units worldwide in just 4 days is insane. That's insanity. Again, it all bodes very well. But what we really want to see is, what are the trends in the coming months, right? Leading up to the holiday season. What will that look like? That's where we're at this point. Again, a lot of great news here, a lot of surprising, but at the same time, not so surprising stuff here. But it's nice to see that the Switch 2 is off to a really good start so far. So anyways, guys, that'll be a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please consider liking the video. Please consider subscribing. It helps a ton. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.